is design? Is it shiny, blingy objects? I would have agreed to this 10 years ago, but not anymore. Design is rapidly moving from posters and toasters to include systems, processes, and organizations. It draws methods from engineering and design and combines them with tools from the social sciences, ideas from the arts, and insights from the business world. How many of you have seen the movie Sully? It is the movie of an aircraft first landing on the Hudson. Tom Hanks' Sully Sullenberg tries to prove that the 208 seconds spent in the aircraft before first landing was the best decision he could have made at that point in time. In the final courtroom drama, Sully says, "Can we get serious? We all have heard of computer simulations, but I can't quite believe you still haven't taken into account the human factor." In our real life too, be it designing a new product or solving the complex problems of today's world, we forget that we are at the end of the day humans solving human problems. So why should we let only numbers or machines dictate how the end solution should look like? We live in a cluttered world, and innovation without emotion is uninteresting. And to succeed, businesses are adapting to empathic design. So basically, if you want to innovate, you got to design. Back in the 2000s, my sister got me a Creative, a digital audio player very popular in the United Kingdom. Creative was in the market even before people had heard of Apple. On an October day in 2001, Apple first introduced its 5 GB iPod versus an already existing 20 GB of Creative. Yet, iPod, the size of a deck of a card, was revolutionary. What set iPod apart from the rest of the products? Why is Steve Jobs considered a visionary? What he did was practice empathic design. By understanding the needs and desires of the people, giving them something they love, yet building something which was simple and user-friendly. His holistic approach of user experience not only helped him gain millions of customers, but increased the market value in a short span of time. So what is the true essence of ideas? How does the process of design thinking work? According to Herbert Simon, a leading social scientist and a Nobel laureate, anyone who tries to improve a situation is a designer. There are 5 stages to the design thinking process. You empathize, define, ideate, prototype, and test. Let us look at it in a simple way. We all use public transport on a day-to-day basis. For the regulars, they notice the same set of people. These people become a part of our lives without knowing each other. So let's assume we have A. He takes a local from Borivali to Churchgate every day at 7:25 a.m. He notices this old man taking the same coach and the same route as him every day, but he never really talks to him. Then one day, he stops seeing him, and this bothers. So I, as an outsider who has been observing these people and their routines, get to know their stories. This part of my journey is popularly known as empathy. To create meaningful solutions, you need to know your users and care about their lives. Through my stories and observation emerges a pattern. I take a blank paper, and this helps me formulate my problem statement. The right problem framing is the only way to create a right solution. In my case, I observed that 70% of the urban population do not communicate with each other. So I defined my problem statement as, how can we engage people to communicate in public spaces? The next stage to this would be to think of ideas. This is where the real fun begins. A bunch of people come together, not to find the right answer, but to create possibilities. These ideas can then be further divided into categories to find the answer. Then we prototype to think and test to learn. Through this stage, the idea not only gets a physical form, but becomes open to feedback and change. In my case, I need to engage with people, and I think about my childhood. As a child, I would carry a string phone to the park and talk to people through that. So I do the same. I take a string phone to the local coach and leave it there. People get curious and they start communicating with each other. Now take the same steps in the real world with real problems. You will see solutions emerge. The key to a design thinking process is to remember that it needs to build on empathy. Oxford defines empathy as the ability to understand and share the feelings of another. In a customer-centric marketplace, it is invaluable. It helps drive sales, manage teams better, and deliver experiences. To summarize it, we can say, empathy drives experience. Experience drives commerce and connection. We see it every day with how our choices are reflected through our experiences. For example, I choose Uber over Ola due to my experience of using it. I am sure each of you choose one product or service over another due to your experience and interaction with it. It is important to observe what people do and how they interact with their environment to understand what they need, think, and feel. This allows us to capture the physical manifestations of their experiences and infer the meaning to uncover insights leading to innovation. I read of a very interesting example recently. How many of you have ever washed clothes or seen your mothers do the same? Not bad, quite a few of you. So now you know how tedious the task of washing clothes is. First you pick up all the clothes, take it to the washing area, put them in the washing machine. Then you wait. And then comes the tedious part. You have to carry the heavy wet clothes to the drying area and then hang them in the shade for them to dry. Now Whirlpool noticed the pattern of Indians washing clothes and came up with Whirlpool Ace. What was brilliant about this product was they added a basket where people could take out the wet clothes and put it in the basket and carry it to the drying area with the convenience of wheeling it. They could do so by observing and empathizing with the users who were buying their washing machines. As a business practitioner, I constantly ask myself, how do I create meaningful solutions for people? How do I make my business divergent and include all its stakeholders? These kind of questions help you ground your work to the realities. In 2013, I was asked to design a logo for the Indian Sommelier Championship. Sorry. An event which was judging the best wine waiters and stewards, giving them an opportunity to appreciate what they were serving and communicate it effectively to their clients. Now, how many of you drink wine here? Not many. I didn't either. And that knowledge was my limitation. I never knew that red wine left stains. Now, what I did was basically go and observe people, and I realized that it was absolutely essential for a champion to know how to pour a wine the right way. And I had my idea. This could not have happened if I would not have observed people both at the serving and the receiving end. You can now take similar steps and solve social problems as well. I recently launched Curry, a social project under Izel Labs, that connects the female home-based workers. I'm not even cheating. That connects female home-based workers with the industry, and that enables them to get livelihood. Now, I visited multiple slums across Delhi, and what I noticed that middlemen exploited these females. Being from the migrant community, they were stuck in the city for a better life. And they depended on these irregular job works. On a flip side, a lot of design houses often find it difficult to source the female home-based workers due to their invisibility beyond membership-based organizations. We sat and brainstormed and came up with a threefold solution to address this gap. This multimedia tool not only looks at sensitizing the females about their wages and entrepreneurship skills, but also connects them to the industry, in turn creating a trust network. According to a leading advisor of strategy and design, Dr. Prabjot Singh, Director of Systems Design at Earth Institute, we spend a lot of time designing the bridge, but not enough time thinking about the people who are crossing it. This is a simple matter of fact. We need to come together, regardless of our knowledge, discipline, and education, to solve real human problems. For all of us, the key to solving problems lies in the heart of organizational, global, economical, political shifts taking place in the world today. And I hope we prepare ourselves to be better collaborators. Design thinking, at the end of the day, is about solving problems through empathy and user-centered approach. So let's bring empathy in the business world and see the paradigm shift that it creates in the workplace. Thank you.